Having cycling taken away from me for a long time and being able to get back on a bike again is just honestly like the nicest thing in the whole world. If my body tells me I can ride a bike, I will go and ride a bike. Right, what do I need to do? Oh God! So I've had my own boat for 6 years this month, and I lived on like a big boat before then that was like, it's just a glorified flat share really, and now it's very much the reality of living on a little off-grid narrowboat, which I've done for 6 years, and hopefully I'll do for another few years yet because I love it. On my own adventures, I'll take it up to Milton Keynes, Northamptonshire kind of way. Cruise somewhere in the afternoon and then in the morning get the bike, go for a ride at whatever spot I'd landed in, and then repeat that every day for like 2 weeks. Such a small adventure in the grand scheme of things, but it gives you that element of adventure that you can't really get in any other way apart from maybe on a bike. I've been out this way on the boat like 4 or 5 times and been for rides from that spot many times. We've rode out from Tring, kind of followed the canal a little bit towards the Chilterns really. The canal kind of runs through it, so just a lot of peaceful, quiet up and down lanes with the canal running straight through the middle of it, so that works out quite nicely for riding from your mooring. Much more pleasant if you can get out of London, so just go down the narrowest lanes with the least amount of cars. That's what I like. I've always felt really lucky to have a bike and to love riding and to feel confident and safe, because it's meant that it gives me complete freedom to moor up wherever I want. But I gradually got more and more confident on the boat, like as I also got more and more confident on the bike. I only got into cycling like as an adult, and I'd always be like, oh, you'll never get me on a bike. I was one of those people. It's so dangerous. You'll never get me on one of them. And then something clicked, I guess. So I ended up buying a bike, and it was just, at the time it was a bike for commuting, and then even though it was just for commuting, I kind of realised this just feels so nice. And it kind of just went from there really, and I kept riding. It just kind of went up, the bikes got better and better, my riding got better and better, I got more confident, started meeting other people that rode bikes, you start going for social rides, you ride with other people, and then next thing you know, it's every aspect of your life comes back to a bicycle in some way, which is really nice. I like it, wouldn't change it. I tend to start excitable and then slow down and then never ever learn, but I just can't help it. Just enjoy it and I'll get going and then I regret it. This is the thing, like I've lost all perspective on like my pace and how far I can go, how fast I can go. So having to go back to purely riding by feel, because no amount of numbers will kind of explain what's going on inside my body. In January 2020, I got very suddenly ill with like migraines, but very severe, didn't let up, just 24/7 intense head pain. It ended up being diagnosed as a viral meningitis. What started off with a physiological cause, which was quite simply an infection in my brain, became chronic through psychological cause, I guess. For me, I think I was so stressed and panicky about being ill that I reinforced the illness in my body. Because I went from doing so much, I was juggling a job, the boat, dogs, racing, riding, everything, to be struck with illness, it just felt like it was happening at the worst time, and it felt like I was potentially losing all the effort that I'd put in. I would think things are getting better, and then I'd have some sign of a relapse, some kind of backwards blip, which again then would bring back this panic and this stress about being ill. And like I say, I was just stuck in this loop of symptoms, and by resting and listening to my body, I got stuck. For someone who was so obsessed with always being productive and always wanting to see results, and to then suddenly lose everything, to not even be able to do like the unproductive nice things, that's such a hard thing to be okay with. And it's just something I had to really get used to, and it's probably in the long run would have been a bit of a positive influence, because I was definitely way too obsessed with always being productive and always seeing results. I mean, obviously it's given me a massive sense of perspective. I've lost so much time to being ill that you then really value the time you have to play with. Every part of my life, cycling would fix or improve, and then to lose the health aspect entirely, and then to lose cycling entirely, it was like I've now not got my mechanism of getting better and to improve all those things in my life that cycling generally improves. So when I started introducing a bike back into the routine, and obviously like starting off really small, I was doing like a pedal just to get my legs spinning again, and we literally went from 0 to 30 minutes, and I remember like getting to 30 minutes of riding and it would be like, wow, what a success, like what an achievement. And when it got to half an hour, it was like, great, we can go outside now, like it's worth actually going outside. And we'd go for these really boring rides just up and down the boring roads that were near wherever the boat was moored. And now I'm like, 90 minutes, what an adventure. Like life-changing, because it is, and you just perspective changes entirely. It's almost like I went full circle with when I first got a bike and was like, 30 miles, that's huge. And now again I'm like, 30 miles, yeah. Probably done 30 miles today, and I'm like buzzing about it. It is that simple. Especially when you have it taken away from you for a while, it's just like, just being on the bike, absolutely the perfect ride for me. And I don't take it for granted at all anymore.